Good evening, Backloggery.
Mr. Try4ce.
Mr. Xavier, and this pile of backlogs that is staring at me now. Yes, look at them. It is backlogs. How do I point while looking at a screen? They are watching me. So yes, now let us. I'll show them off a little bit. I'm gonna be moving a little bit away from my mic here, but here we have pile of backlog plushies. I think this pile is like 40 plushies right now, because there's 48 in a bag, and I took out all but 8 of them, so it should be 40 plushies right
Now, are you going to be taking them all out?
Well, I wasn't going to, but turns out there are turns out there are four in a bag instead of one.
4 in a bag.
Well, follow me, and I will show you.
Very good.
I'll be taking my headphones off, so I can't hear. Well, actually, if I turn on my gamepad speaker, I should still be able to hear Xavier. We'll see if the Wii U gamepad can carry that far. So, come, follow.
Follow. We're still good. Getting a little jerky now.
Starts to lose it somewhere around here. Let's see if we can make it. All right. We are in here. Well.
You've lost me on the gamepad, but I think they still see you on the stream. And you're back.
We failed. Here, maybe you can see it from here. I might not need to go all the way. They are all filled to the brim with plushies. So,
yeah. You have roughly a tenth of them next to you. You were saying?
Why the heck is Kingdom Hearts singing on here? This is distracting me. We need to move to another track. Okay, here. I can think more clearly to Final Fantasy VII. Singing disrupts my thought process. So, what were you saying, Xavier?
Yeah, roughly 10% of them are next to you were saying?
Close to 10%, yeah, I suppose.
You definitely need to dump them all out.
Well, I mean, I eventually am taking them all out of the bags because there's 4 in a bag, so... have one without tearing down the whole pile. So
Uh-oh. Hey now. So let's see one on the floor. Oh,
okay. So as you can see, I mean this is a real cloak on this backlog. So when you get it, I mean you'll have to sort of shape and shift the cloak to get your accurate backlog shape. Sort of like so. And you squeeze, I'm a little far away from my mic so you won't really be able to hear, but you squeeze sort of around here, around the U metal region. Let me put this closer to the mic.
That's amazing.
So, yep, they really buck.
So how many are left for sale? Because a lot of people bought them, but that was a year ago.
Yeah, my rough estimate is that I might be shipping, 200, give or take a bunch, right off the bat. I'm not really sure.
That still allows for a lot.
I mean, there are plenty for sale if anyone has not bought yet and wants to. But yeah, we've sold a lot. They've done well.
Mr. Jumble.
Put a V at the end of that, Xavier. Oh wait, I lost my train of thought. What was I thinking about again?
You got the music a little loud compared to us, Try4ce.
I've got the music pretty far down. It's just that maybe I was a little bit away from it. Or actually, sometimes my Skype levels get mixed up. I'm not thinking of Xavier right now.
Aren't you, though? Aren't you?
Well, I am now.
So what's it like being in a house full of backlogs?
About like I expected, I guess.
Have you booted up Steam yet or anything?
Let me check that. Where'd my mouse go? Xavier's drawing a mouse? A cat?
Never mind.
Clearly a mouse. Why is Xavier hiding off camera?
Yeah, well, he said he got a new haircut and it's short, and he seems to not want to show us anything.
Speaking of new hair, you got some growing in on your face there, Mr. Driver.
Oh, look at that!
Oh, I get even lazier over the summer is all.
Hold the camera as still as you can. No, not that close. Oh, God. Get away! I think that's an improvement.
Ladies, don't you agree?
Oh, this is amusing. But yes.
So, yeah, I'll be shipping these out to you this month. I can't say for sure how soon. You want to see the plush pile again?
Always.
August 12th? No.
Can we hear the bucking one more time?
I gotta make it sort of sway like seasick for the pirate music that's playing right now. The bucking.
So, Try, I think what everybody wants to see is for you to put the camera down, put it, you know, at an angle that we can see all of them, and just dive into them. Just do it. Just belly flop on them.
Do we want to see this? Is this a thing? This is a thing we want to see?
Oh, it's definitely a thing we want to see.
Let me see what can be arranged.
Oh, you lucky people that were the first to pre-order could
the
get a
plushies will not be
Try4ce
damaged.
plushie.
No one has to worry. I will double check all of your plushies before sending them to make sure they are all nice and work.
What Try isn't telling you is he hasn't showered in a number of days. So. Would you like me to draw something for this?
Try, always being the cameraman.
Okay, here we go. This is pretty nice, I guess.
It's a nice croc shot there, Try. Can he even hear us?
I don't know. He can't. Uh-oh.
Oh, getting worse.
Oh. What game's gonna be streamed tonight, Drum?
Deadly Premonition.
Ugh.
Yep, more of that game.
Yuck.
I have it on good authority. If you find the plushie that was right under your butt, you could put it on eBay for big bucks right now.
I mean, I could put any of these plushies on my butt. I mean, just special request, I guess.
Hey, did Paper Link order one? Because send it to him.
I have no idea if Paperlink got one. But he could.
That's the right idea. You need to keep the butt plushies down to a minimum to increase their rarity.
Well, hey, I mean, I've got like, you know, I've got 460 more of them over there, so.
Actually, Sobo likes butts. Send it to him.
So, come on, Xavier. Show us the haircut.
Ah, no way.
Show
You have
us.
to wait for that.
Gotta wait?
Huh?
Gotta wait.
So it's been 8 months since I got a haircut. I had the same hair that I had at MagFest.
Well, then it's old news. You should show us.
Yeah.
You'll see it at a point.
No, we gotta see.
Nope.
Show us something. You have to show us something on your end. Come on.
Oh, hey now. Oh.
Hey, try as a professional of coaxing people into revealing things, Xavier.
I will have to decline.
Well, anyway, I guess let's end the call, get ready to start streaming for real. So,
Oh.
We didn't see him wave goodbye.
it's not a real Wii U video chat. Alright, turn off the mics for a moment. And officially, good evening, Backloggery.
Good evening, Backlog.
Gentlemen.
Mr. Drumble, Mr. Xavier. Backlog. So, people seem to be a little confused and caught off guard by the enlarged stream.
Just a site malfunction. Drums on it.
Hey, if you complain about a tiny chat room, look what happens.
I think technically the chat room's still tiny, right?
Oh, it's bigger.
Is it?
I mean, the proportions look right to me on my screen anyway.
Now, are you both using Firefox, Chrome, Safari?
Right now, I have got open in Firefox.
Chrome myself.
I have it in Firefox as well.
But if for whatever reason you thought the video window was just too much, you can just resize your browser window and it will scale down. Ooh.
Or you can just deal with it.
Or you can just deal with it. So I think people said there's a good number of episodes left in this, but episodes get shorter as the game goes on, so I'm like, maybe past halfway. I streamed a little bit, like, what, Thursday or something, I think.
We don't have any sound on our end here.
You should.
I thought I heard a little bit of
My
it.
sound system is on. Oh, geez, Zach View.
Previously during the investigation. So, you want to find out
Can you hear it
everything
at
there
all?
is
You
to
should
know
be able
about
to.
Diane?
Yeah, I can now.
Wait! She's still alive.
Stop right there, Nick. You're under arrest for the attempted murder of Diane Ames. Emily, hurry!
The
You
sound
saved
shouldn't
my
be any
life.
different
No
than
need to thank me
usual.
for that. I'm pretty useless. I couldn't save Becky.
Previously on
I
Alan
couldn't
Wake.
save Diane.
Cherry read my mind.
New suits at the milk barn, but I don't know how to get to the milk barn.
Actually, I was just going to ask when we're going to Fortune Street.
I thought you requested a Fortune Street tomorrow.
I do. I have not heard a reply.
I could play Fortune Street tomorrow.
Mr. Try4ce.
I don't know.
Well, we need a fourth then.
Why do people keep saying it's quiet? Did, like, the new stream window, like, default your volume or something from the Justin or Twitch window?
I assume if it's a simple matter of just moving the slider, people could figure that out.
I think you assume too much.
Open this door. There is no turning back. You still want to enter?
I do. It's better than staying here.
Very well then. Off you go. Look carefully, boy. At times, we must purge things from this world because they should not exist. Even if it means losing someone that you love.
Okay. Coffee, coffee, coffee.
Mr. Morgan, do you want a refill?
Yes. Thank you.
Is the coffee that good, Mr. Morgan?
Coffee is a vital investigative tool. I know exactly what to do now.
Harry.
Not sure he should be giving away his coffee secrets so
And the first
readily
letter
here.
of each line is Harry. Hurry to Harry. Looks like the time that he was talking about has come. Let's go pay the problematic rich boy who owns half of the town a visit. Polly, I think I'm going to go see Harry today.
Oh, really? He's a little strange, but I think he's the most trustworthy one around here. I think you'll have fun with him.
If you say so, Polly, then we probably will.
Of course. Now, give me your cup, and I'll give you some more coffee.
I'll see you later, Polly.
Mr. Morgan, what about the coffee? Don't you want a refill? Your coffee!
Coffee can only reveal one thing per day. Oh, hey, it's this guy.
Hey, am I still a suspect?
No.
Okay, well, good. My wife and I have been living separately for over 3 years now. Diane, she's a single woman, so this shouldn't be a problem.
That's
Well,
true.
it was.
I feel so bad for Diane, though. Gosh. Did you find out who did it?
I can't discuss that.
Yes, of course. I understand. You don't have to tell any of the folks around town about me and Diane, do you?
No, I won't do that. But it's a small town. I'm sure the rumors have started already. Nothing to be ashamed of, right? What's there to worry about?
Nothing in particular. No, nothing at all. I'm clean as the sheets in this hotel. What's with that look? We don't have a problem, right?
It looks like Kaysen is involved with another woman in town. We can only hope it isn't Emily.
What the heck?
You?
So people were talking about being quiet. What is there a problem? Nothing should have changed. So if it sounds quiet, I recommend working on the Twitch volume slider.
What the heck was that?
York, I can't find Thomas. Was he here?
No, I haven't seen him. Have you tried the radio?
I've been trying, but he's not answering.
What about Nick?
No problem with him. He's calmed down a little. He's still saying he didn't do it. Nick said that Thomas disappeared sometime during the night. He kept calling for him, but Thomas stopped responding. I'm a bit worried. George has asked for permission to search for Thomas.
I understand that things have been hard for
tapping
Thomas,
chest
sure,
animation is
he's
the
just
same
resting
thing York does.
but I'm not against looking for him.
Doesn't really
Tell George
strike
that
me
he
as
has my
I'm
blessing.
thinking animation. I mean, who does that?
As far as I know, Thomas always calls in when he needs a day off.
We're human, and so we are limited. As far as you know, there haven't been any serial killings here before, right?
That's right, but that's not...
Emily, I'm going to see Harry today.
What? Why? We have plenty of other leads to follow, don't we?
He did invite me over, though. It would be bad manners not to accept.
Are you really an FBI agent? I think the FBI would take a more logical approach to investigations.
But Emily, a serial killer does not stay within the boundaries of logic. Thus, you can't hope to capture such a killer using only logic. That's why I'm going to see Harry. You go with George and find Thomas.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Great. Thanks.
I was an idiot for thinking he might be a good pick. I really need to work on my taste in men.
Oh. You blew it, Try. You blew it.
My suit's not that dirty. So, off to see Mr. Stewart.
Zach, we've ended up with a third victim. That dive I made in the gallery ended up being a wasted attempt to save a life. It's a real mess, Zach.
Dive. When's the last time I made a dive like that? Oh, you? It was in my late teens. We used to go to those concerts. You and I liked punk rock, but we liked different types of punk. You liked hard and heavy punk, like Crash and Sham 69. I liked the more twisted ones, like The Damned, Buzzcocks, Iggy Pop, and Joy Division. We used to talk for hours about the bands we really liked, but for some reason, neither of us listened to the Sex Pistols. I wonder why that was. Seems strange thinking about it now.
Maybe it'll get me where I need to go. Well, does the stream look okay for you guys?
It looks fine to me.
Now, on Saturday, someone came to check out my internet and ran a new cable line. And so far, it has not dropped. I've even logged into Final Fantasy 11 and just stayed logged in. Well, not now, of course, but...
What's the over-under on it dropping during the stream?
But, I mean, so, you know, hopefully it won't drop. But, I mean, so far it has not dropped since Saturday, since before the new line was ran. So, I'm hopeful.
Getting a lot of raised eyebrows that you're driving here, Try.
What about my driving?
You're drunk.
I mean, what? Do people try to do legit good driving in video games? I don't!
You know what? There was one band that we both liked. We went all the way to New York to see them play. Right, Zach? It took us hours to get to New York by bus. We got to the CBGB and we were so nervous we couldn't go inside. It took us 30 minutes to gather enough courage to go inside. Inside, we were shocked. Right, Zach? I'll never forget that feeling. It was like a blitzkrieg pop. The Ramones. That song still makes me feel good. That's a sign of a classic. But it's amazing I got in without being asked for ID. Those are the good old days. Rock and roll high school and Chinese rock. Sheena is a punk rocker and surfing bird. And I was so depressed when I heard the news of the deaths. Original punk is one of the greatest gifts left from the 20th century. Let's hope they're still rocking on wherever they are.
Driving time is perfect chatting time, but we just blew it. I'm at the destination.
Oh, but listening to York is so fascinating.
It is. So says Mr. Stewart.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, finally you have arrived. You are welcome to come inside.
Oh, is Linda's keeping a record of everyone who beats the 4-job fiesta?
Yep, any backlogger that beats it, she's donating $1 for.
Oh. Say what? You went robot on us and then you cut out.
Me?
Yeah.
Sounds like connection troubles on your end, Mr. Try4ce.
Yeah, it sounded fine to me.
I'll take connection troubles over dropping.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, Mr. Stewart has been waiting for you. To the meeting room you shall go to.
He's really stretching with these rhymes, man.
I honestly never even noticed that he's spoken rhymes.
What?
He does?
Yeah.
The meeting room is through here. Please be kind. Be sincere.
Was he really doing that before this?
Yes.
They really didn't jump out at me.
Everything he says.
Yes?
Look at this GIF. It is amazing. That's actually pretty impressive.
Can't believe you didn't notice that.
When he's quoting what Mr. Stewart says, is he doing it too?
Yeah. I feel like my new game now is going to be talking in rhyme around Try4ce and see if he notices.
Fortunately, the run button in this is the same as The Last of Us, so I'm not confused now. It's L2.
Sounds like a weird place for a run button to me.
Yeah, but I've actually seen back shoulder buttons being used for in a number of games, actually. It's not that unusual. It seems weird, but I've kind of gotten used to it. Oh no! Whew! That was a close one.
You hate it when you just accidentally shave? Oh, man.
That was a close shave. Ah, Cherry beat me. Cherry beat me to it.
Oh, so I'm not sure if you're both aware, but... Oh. Cutscene.
Not really.
Not really. But I have a new tweeter box. Which are...
Zach, something is still missing. We need more clues.
The real Xavier, I understand.
Apparently.
Am I to believe that the rectitude guy was a fake?
You don't know what to think.
I I like to think, I'm probably wrong, but I like to think this was inspired by the real Ghostbusters.
By the real what?
The real Ghostbusters.
Not familiar with that.
It's the name of the correct Ghostbusters cartoon. You know, the original 80s Ghostbusters cartoon.
I didn't know that there was anything but.
Yeah,
there was a show called Ghostbusters that was like had like an ape and people running around. I never saw it. I don't know anything about it really.
Oh, I mean, I would immediately dismiss that as anything related. By the way, I'm really digging the interior of this place.
Oh?
I like it.
This is why you're looking for a new job?
I mean, maybe I could buy something that has a similar interior.
Build your own Spencer Mansion, maybe.
Only if somebody will supply the zombies for it.
I think Xavier started to say something and then he cut out.
I got that impression as well.
I was saying that I would want my home to be supplied
Zach,
with
something
zombies.
is still missing. We need more clues. Zach, something is still missing. We need more clues.
Which one did I try on this one? Nope. That umbrella is back.
Zach, something is still missing. We need more clues.
Talk about something, John.
Like what?
Stuff.
Bees?
Bees?
Don't know about bees.
What about bees?
I might have bees in the walls.
Oh yeah, the bees in the wall. I saw about that.
It might just be a bee. I don't know. Just a singular bee.
Uh-huh.
I've heard it in a buzz in the wall behind my computer. And it's been in the wall behind me too. It like wanders around.
Didn't you have strange noises in the walls in pretty much every place you've ever lived?
That does seem to be a trend, yes.
So my experience with bees behind the walls are that they make like tapping noises.
I heard tales recently of people that had possums in their walls.
Possums?
Yeah.
I thought possums were supposed to often play possum.
That they do. Apparently in walls sometimes.
Well, I mean, playing possum implies that they're playing dead, so...
You know, I don't think I've ever seen a live possum.
I think you have. They just often...
They fooled you, Try. They fooled you.
I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of bees. Probably out of anything, I don't like them, but You know, I love the summer and watching people like flip out when a bee gets near them. Just like, you know, you're making things worse, right? Like, ah!
Zach,
Do
something
you
is still
flip out
missing.
near a bee?
We need
No,
more
I just kind of
clues.
like, get away.
Do
I mean, if
you
it starts
flip
to fly
out
my
near a
Zach,
face,
bee?
something is still
Swat at it.
missing. We need more clues.
I do.
What's that?
Flip out around bees.
Do you like duck when they're coming towards you?
Oh, sure. Well, more like get up and flail my arms and run out of the room.
Try dodges bees like Neo dodges bullets.
For some reason, I can't imagine Try being that graceful around bees. Just- I don't think you can sting yourself on a bee. I think the bee has stung you in that case.
Apparently my dad stepped on a bee once.
Zach, something is still missing. We need more clues.
I tried all these other umbrellas.
The only time I was ever stung by a bee,
Zach,
I was
something
in
is still missing.
flip-flops and
We
I
need more
stepped on them.
clues.
Now, see, I have never been stung by a bee, but I'm still scared to death of them. And who knows? I've never been stung. I could be allergic for all we know.
Well, we need to get you stung, Try.
Are you saying we should set up a sting operation?
Just show up to Try's place during the next get together and unleash like 15 bees into his house.
My boss got stung by something several years ago and had a reaction. Now he like has to carry around like some sort of like adrenaline shot. He said he'd been stung by things before, just not that a particular kind of bee, I guess.
So Try, what would you rather deal with in your house? Having to get like a bat out or having to kill, let's say, a dozen bees?
One bat or a bunch of bees?
Yeah.
Totally deal with one bat. Have you heard my bat story?
I don't think I have.
At work we've now moved to another building now, but we were in an auditorium.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
We were in this big auditorium, and this was just a couple of years ago. And at one point the place got full of bats. Like they were all over the place. They'd go back into the offices. Sometimes they'd be just like crawling around on the ground. Like we thought there were just a few of them at first, but then the maintenance people came, and when we turned off the lights, they started flying lower, and they were like flying really low, and they would shine flashlights up to the ceiling. I mean, there were tons of them just flying all around the ceiling. I mean, like, I bet there were 40 to 50 in the whole building.
So how many bats did you kill?
I didn't kill any, but I guess they got taken care of somehow. I think they took care of them after hours. Is my understanding. But at some point there were no more.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, Please have some tea while it is hot. Too much coffee for your body will make it rot.
You seem well prepared. Almost as though you knew I would be coming today.
Mr. Stewart is particular about the best timing for all things. Now please, drink some tea and enjoy the good health it brings.
I'm sorry, Harry, but I just don't like tea.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, some tea with sugar is what's best admired by your body that looks so tired. So says Mr. Stewart.
Do you think Mr. Stewart is speaking in rhyme?
Harry, where did you get these
I like to
seeds?
think so.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, those seeds were found in our town in a certain specific place. More seeds are there, you will see, when you find that certain space. Come back to me and we shall talk after you find that certain place. So says Mr. Stewart.
Harry, so you like to play games?
Mr. Francis York Morgan, a hint for you to find this location. It is most crowded and most quiet, and gives a cold sensation. So says Mr. Stewart.
All right. So you're not going to talk unless I find this certain place. I'll play along.
Okay, so graveyard.
So, are you keeping a whiteboard of your suspect list and all that?
No.
Do you have any suspects?
Not really. I mean, I feel like the reviews that the game does at the end of each major section
Zach,
are
let
actually
the
pretty
treasure hunt
helpful,
begin.
though.
A crowded place, and yet it is very quiet there. Have you figured it out, Zach? It must be the graveyard. There's lots of people there, but none of them can speak. You see? So let's get going to the graveyard.
I have a choice of cars. How about the one with the most gas? Like this one. Let's see, what's going to be the best way to get there? This game needs better maps.
It's good practice for you. You never know when the GPS grid's gonna fail and
Uh-huh.
you'll have to make it downtown.
Is this what Try drives like without the GPS then?
I can only assume so.
I just don't bother.
So, Zach, My first impression when we met her on that bridge is slightly different from what I think about her now. Don't you think she's pretty mesmerizing? And Zach, she seemed interested in you. Did you make a move on her? No, don't answer. I'm just asking. But if you like her, I won't stand in your way. But I'd like to hear the truth. Because this kind of stuff could affect our friendship, you know. Me? I'm just interested in her, that's all. He doesn't love or anything. From what I can tell, she doesn't even seem to like me. It's pretty clear from how she acts when she's around me.
As you know, Zach, I'm cautious with women. It's because I was badly burned in my last relationship.
I really have no idea what women are thinking. That's my problem.
You're pretty friendly with the ladies, aren't you, Zach?
Maybe you should teach me about how to interact with women.
Maybe you should teach me how to interact with women.
I don't understand why people were so freaked out by my driving. Like, I seriously didn't. I just assumed no one like actually tried to drive well in video games.
It's like you're playing Burnout and trying to get as close to cars as possible.
Yeah.
Is it? Well, I mean.
Oh.
We're wasting valuable conversation time.
Oh, damn it.
We'll talk about something, Xavier.
Don't really have much to talk about.
Any pizza delivery stories from the past week?
Oh,
Anyway, Zach,
none.
there aren't many young women left in this town. Even Emily could be targeted next. We can't rule that out. All the more reason to catch the raincoat killer ASAP. And that means working closely together. We can work out the Emily situation later. Don't get me wrong, Zach. I mean, I'm not interested in Emily.
Oops.
Zach, we're here. Let's continue our chat later.
Oh, good. The conversation can continue.
Or will it?
Just as Harry said, it's crowded and quiet.
Oh, hey, this guy.
Hey, Brian.
Agent. Mr. Agent, how are you?
Not bad. I'm, just playing a little game with Harry.
Game? A game? Oh, is that fun?
We've only just started, Brian. The fun is about to begin. I'd like to ask you something, actually. Is there a tree in the graveyard that drops red seeds?
Seeds. Red seeds? That tree does. And that one. And that one too. All red seeds.
Very observant, York.
Hmm. So you're still waiting for an axe in Animal Crossing 2, huh?
I am. Did you know, Xavier, that this is by far the most robust Animal Crossing to date?
Animal Crossing is a simple game, Drum. Sounds like it's too muddied with complexities.
What are you munching on there, sir?
Hmm?
What are you munching on?
Ah, Tostitos.
Toast what?
Tostitos.
Tostitos.
I don't think I would call them by brand name. I'd just say I was eating tortilla chips. Are you brand loyal in the world of tortilla chips?
I do like Tostitos.
I don't think I've ever ran across a particular store-bought tortilla chip that I thought was outstandingly better than another.
Oh, I like Tostitos, but I think I just like them because they have so much salt on them.
I don't know if that sounds that good.
Yeah, it probably isn't. I have made tortilla chips before, but they were never this salty and delicious.
Oh, that ghost has a gun!
Ghost.
Zombie thing. Oh, so... Oh, why is it so bright? I don't like it.
That's pretty weird.
So, last night, Drum informs me that a Netflix movie is going off Netflix in 5 days, and it was on this list of movies that we kind of kept an eye on, just you know, as ideas for horror movies to watch.
It was Bravo with 100 scariest movie moments.
And this movie was on that list, and so it was called Audition. We decided to watch it, and it's a Japanese horror movie from 1999, I think. Yep. Isn't that right, Zach? And so we watched the movie, and it's really weird, you know, kind of questionably produced at times, but still kind of interesting, but really odd. Wow, that hurts. Who knew? Bullets hurt. So we watched this movie, and we get to the end. I mean, do note that this movie ends in an extremely brutal, really gross way with this really unnerving torture scene. It's pretty graphic. Me and Drum were both pretty grossed out, and we were like, "Wow." So, the credits roll, and, you know, Netflix on the PS3 goes to this mode where it, like, shows you all the recommendations and stuff, and the credits are in this really small window. And then I just happened to look up at that credit scene, and it credits the director, and it's Takashi Miike. I was like, holy crap! And Drum's like, what, is that someone? And I'm like, yeah, that's the guy that directed the Phoenix Wright movie. And Drum's like, yeah. no. I'm like, I'm dead serious. 'Cause I read a good bit about him when he was announced to direct that. And you know, I read that he made a lot of. Apparently, he makes like a lot of movies, like several a year. And they range from like really gross and disturbing to family friendly, from really interesting, really amazing movies to really terrible movies. So he's just all over the place. So, I mean, you know, since I already knew that, I mean, I've been curious about seeing some of his movies, but thus far I hadn't. And I had no idea what I was watching. So that was kind of, you know, definitely a good bit of a surprise. But then the gears started turning in my head, and I realized that I had seen the main character before. That was from Audition, the main character that we watched in that. The one who has very terrible things happen to him. And I realized that I had seen him from the trailers for Phoenix Wright, the movie. And he's Von Karma in that. So we were like all really shocked by these revelations. I really want to just get by these guys. I don't want to shoot all of them, please.
The current plan is for Try, Lynn, and I to watch the Phoenix Wright movie at the next staff get-together.
Zach, mission accomplished. Let's get back to Harry's. The reward better be good. But you know about these seeds? They were right here under my nose. It's as if I was carefully carrying a bottle of water while walking in a pool. We're learning the countryside version of common sense the hard way, Zach.
Oh, you can hold your breath just in the middle of an action scene?
They won't see you?
I mean, that's holding your breath does. I didn't know there was just a button for it.
Yeah, it's just by sneaking. Like this. But that was such a narrow path, I'm not sure it would have worked.
A human bone? This doesn't look related to the case, but shouldn't I let someone know?
Maybe I could just give it to the dog.
Lynn just got Geomancer for her Fiesta job.
Is that a bad thing?
Apparently, it's the worst of the three, or of the jobs available on the third crystal.
I always liked Geomancer. I mean, granted, its abilities are kind of tied to the element of the area you're in, which I don't know, maybe your enemies, it might not be useful against the enemies there, but I mean, it's been so long since I played Final Fantasy V, so I should probably stream at least the end of that. But I still need to finish up my run of Persona 4 Golden. Where's my car? How do I get out of here?
Maybe your car went home because it was scared of you. Oh, there's too much dialogue to fit a choose your own adventure book in, even during the driving parts. Driving parts have the best dialogue.
Yeah, they do.
Zach, picking up from where we left off.
This game makes me sleepy.
There aren't many young women left.
I like how they
Even
continue
Emily
the
will be
conversation.
targeted next.
Well, he's basically starting over now.
All the more reason to catch the Raincoat Killer ASAP. And that means working closely together.
Nice.
We can work out the Emily situation later. Don't get me wrong, Zach. I mean, I'm not interested in Emily because she's female or anything. I'm just saying she's interesting. You know, as in interesting person. But by looking at her, she reminds me of something I used to feel. That's all. Like back when I first met you. You know, that feeling we all used to feel back when we were kids. Feeling safe while also feeling that need to protect, that kind of feeling. But Zach, who made me feel that back then? Anyways, we're getting closer one step at a time to cracking this case. I have a feeling it's going to get tough.
Oh yeah, I saw a lot of people like freak out when they first entered the chat room. But
Yeah.
what's everyone's thought about the new stream layout we got going here? Seems like our opinions range from moderate to hooray, so I will take that.
On the internet, that's the best you could hope for.
Yep. Couldn't ask for better than that. Oh, there's a dissenter. There we go.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, finally you have arrived. You are welcome to come inside.
Can't get the stream to load at all.
Hmm.
What browser are you using, Reiki? I noticed while I was trying to make this that if you set the height of the stream window in a percentage, it doesn't show up in Firefox. But I fixed that, and you're using Firefox. Is it an updated
Mr.
version
Francis
of
York
Firefox?
Morgan, please proceed to Mr. Stewart's room. There he awaits you, I shall assume.
Or did you try a reload at all?
Yes?
Wait. This all changed? 14, 23, 26.
Oh man. Try, you're a man who likes wood, right?
Wood.
Winky.
Wood as in the stuff off trees in a decorative, old-fashioned sense?
I have no idea what else you could possibly be talking about. But yes. I just got a wooden sofa.
A wooden sofa? At Animal Crossing?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That'd be pretty impressive.
That sounds terrible, though. Does it have cushions on it?
It is wooden.
But I mean, my parents have a wooden sofa. It has cushions. My dad seems fond of it, but I actually think it's terrible.
But it's wooden. It should be your favorite thing.
But the cushions are not enough. It's a good point. Sounds more like a bench. But what I really need for my Animal Crossing house is good old wood paneling. You know, I was seriously tempted to get a wood paneling decal for my Wii U.
I remember that.
It was really tempting.
Doesn't say if it's the mixed wood set, but that would make sense given the way the pattern looks.
Sounds like some good old-fashioned stuff. A lot of these rooms I seem to be unable to get into. Or seems to be a lack of things I can do at the moment.
So there's a chicken in my town. I just went into his house for the first time, and it looks like a medieval dungeon in here.
Hmm. I didn't notice I could do things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, jeez. I know that they were bigger numbers in here, but maybe I can use certain digits. 1, yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. So that's probably not terribly useful.
I just had a thought.
Oh, then there's big numbers over here. Jeez.
There should be a place you could go, preferably a mansion in real life, that is just set up with bizarre real-life video game puzzles.
Okay, I think I get this. I just need to actually remember these numbers this time.
It's like you go in a room, you gotta shove some boxes around, there's weird number puzzles that are actually really easy. You know? Wouldn't that be great?
Sure. Okay. 14, 23...
If I had a mansion,
26.
that's what I would do it.
Someone has probably done something like that.
I would like to hear about it. The Crystal Maze. That sounds familiar.
14. Aha. 23. And 26. This is the last number 6. Yes, it is. So, what are your major money sinks in Animal Crossing right now?
House.
You're working on your house more so than, say, building a bridge?
My layout's pretty good right now.
I thought you needed a bridge really badly.
No, I actually restarted my town.
Oh! I feel like that's kind of cheating.
Well, I mean, I picked my town layout before I knew what any of the symbols on the map were.
Oh.
So I was like, you know, if I had known, like, that retail was off in the middle of nowhere on the far side of town, I wouldn't have picked this map.
I kind of agree. I mean, my town has a lot of inconveniences, but I don't intend to restart.
I wasn't very far along, so I'm basically caught up to where I was now. I'm going to steal your cat, AJ. You know it's true.
Harry, turns out what you said was true, and I'd like to hear more.
York, as you know, there's a powerful mystery surrounding these seeds. You've seen them at those other murders that took place elsewhere. And you've seen them deeply involved with the murders in this town as well.
That's right. But how do you know all this?
York, you must be younger than you look. Youngsters tend to hurry so much that they let things slip right past them. What you need to do is slow this down a bit. That way you'll see what's really important. Let me tell you a story. 50 years ago, when the war was over, just about when the communist Red started to become a rising threat, our town constructed a huge clock tower. Then, soon afterwards, a serial killer wearing a red raincoat went on a killing spree.
The legend of the Raincoat Killer? Stop playing games with me, Harry. That's nothing more than folklore. The FBI has no such record of a multiple homicide case in this town.
York, Anna, Becky, and now Diane. Their deaths are real, not folklore, not legend. The Raincoat Killer is also real. But under a strict gag order, the mass murder case was never made public. In fact, one could say that it was completely erased from history. Tell me, who do you think would be able to do something like that?
The military.
Very good. A model student.
But if there are no records about it, then how do you know it really happened?
Good question, York. Why would I know this? The answer is very simple. I was there. I saw it with my own eyes. The brutal killer himself. But we can talk about the details of that encounter another time. What we need to talk about is to know more about is the new one. Between 10 and 20 years ago, I noticed that these red seeds were special, and someone else did too. The human imagination can lead to tragedy sometimes. Someone linked the red seeds to the serial killer legend and said, if you eat the red seeds and then kill someone, you will become immortal. This new fabricated legend was passed on from one to the next, evolving, changing every time, like a rumor. Some may have actually taken the seeds to try them out, to prove the legend, that is. York, the red seeds you have found from those other murders, they all came from this town, together with that one evil rumor. People on the other side of the planet may have heard of it by now, and new seeds might be growing in different parts of the world.
So you're saying that the series of cases I've been following are all linked to this town? That's interesting, Harry. But there's no evidence to support that story. None of the criminals we caught for the other murders ever mentioned anything like that.
It's your job, your role and duty to look into that, York. Now, the game must go on. You know I said that the incident 50 years ago was totally erased? Well, not quite. Records still exist in the sheriff's office. The old sheriff back then hated the military and did his own investigation. I need you to bring those documents here to me. Once you've done that, I'll tell you everything I know.
Okay, it's worth a look. And we may as well let the old man have his fun.
Well, there was that old military guy that we met at the town meeting.
There was also that rockin' guy you met at the town meeting.
Yeah, we met him, all right.
I think you should go track him down.
Documents from a case that happened 50 years ago. Let's play along with the old man for a little longer, shall we?
Zach, that means we need to head for the sheriff's department.
I'll use a little gas, but this will probably be okay to drive. Now, this police car reminds me. I read that some Japanese gamers are like fussing about Final Fantasy 15. I mean, they could have fussed when it was, you know, Versus, but whatever. But fussing about how Final Fantasy 15 is too, like, you know, too normal and modern and Japanese looking and stuff. Anyway, apparently the cop cars in the game look exactly like Japanese cop cars, and I learned that apparently Japanese cop cars look exactly the same all across the country, unlike here where they vary. Never knew that. But yeah, I saw a picture of a real Japanese cop car, and it was exactly the same, except the words that were on it, which, you know, it said something like Royal Police or something. Yes, I'm going to talk, but I'm talking now, Zach.
Zach, we can take a rest if you're tired.
There, that's all we had to say. But yeah, I never knew that. I thought that was interesting.
I swear he's taking a page from Nintendo here.
Well, oh. I got my license in Delaware, actually. In Delaware, they don't make you take a driving test.
Oh, God.
It's like the easiest state in the world to get a license in.
That sounds absolutely horrible. Why would they do that?
You just have to get, you know, marks from your driver's ed teacher.
Did you take, like, the school driver's ed course?
Yeah. That's relatively standard, I assume.
I mean, I didn't, but yeah, I think that's what most people do.
I actually did really bad at it. Like,
well, good.
Well, I mean, not in the driving portion, but like in the classroom stuff. Like, I swear I knew the answers, but I just did bad on the tests.
Nothing. Just my imagination.
Wait.
Anyway,
you knew the answers, but you did bad on the test.
I swear I knew. I understood the material. Let me give you an example. They recently changed a stoplight around here that drove me nuts. I didn't go that way too often, but when I had to, it drove me nuts because it was a right turn red arrow. And right turn red arrow means you don't turn on red even if it's clear.
Right.
I know this, right? I learned that in driver's ed. Well, I was the only person that ever didn't turn there. It drove me nuts because I would watch everyone turn and I'd get all paranoid that people were going to honk at me. Fortunately, they've changed it to just a regular red light, but for years it was a red arrow, and it was really frustrating.
Can there really be documents here that the FBI doesn't even have? What do you think, Zach?
I did have to take a actual test when I moved to North Carolina, though, and I passed, so. I did take a defensive driving class.
It's nothing more than local folklore.
Later.
Harry said that he was there.
The Raincoat Killer is a phantom, made up to scare children long ago. I can't believe you fell for that from Harry, of all people.
I agree with George. Harry likes to play with people. Play with their minds, too.
George, Emily. Of course I don't believe him word for word. But you won't mind if I at least try to confirm that he's wrong, will you?
Well then, can you look for the files by yourself? I'm still looking for Thomas.
Very well.
How can I look
Emily,
for files without
open
Thomas?
the filing room for him.
I can't identify squirrels.
They're here too, Zach. This might mean we're getting warmer to what we need.
So, a good friend of mine in high school, he was coming up to a light when there was a lot of traffic. And he was going to turn right. And he got into the right turn lane before it was actually a right turn lane because the traffic was backed up so much.
Yes, great.
basically onto the shoulder, basically, and pull up. And someone up ahead in the traffic line, like, waved someone out of a parking lot that they were trying to turn left out of across his path, and ended up T-boning a van and rolling it over. Oh, jeez. Yeah, which probably means he was going pretty fast for coming up on a... Yeah! Wow. But, I mean, they were completely, like, no one was hurt or anything, so maybe it just takes less to roll a van than I think it does. Wow. But he lost his license. It was suspended for that. And years later, he was my roommate in college. And it finally became time that he could get his license back. And he was taking a test. And he had taken the school driver's ed like you did. Mm-hmm. And my parents, like, insisted on sending me and my brothers to, like, a private driving school because they wanted us to be the best drivers possible. And, like, he was like, doing homework for his driving course he had to take. And he kept asking me questions that he did not know the answer to. And he was like, how the hell do you know these things?
You're still missing a vital piece of the puzzle.
And I've had a very poor opinion of high school driver's ed ever since. My driver's ed teacher, I don't think she had been teaching there for very long. She was really strict and mean, and I didn't like her. Her name was Avis Vaught. I just thought it was so funny that, you know, Avis is a car rental company. I don't think I've ever met anyone else named Avis. Anyway, there was another driver's ed teacher at the school, and he was like this. Apparently, he was like the easiest teacher ever, and like just passed everyone. Totally didn't care. A lot of my friends had him. The ones who were, whoa, the ones who were half a year older had him, but anyway, so I had this mean, strict lady. Well, here, why don't I put you to the test, sir? Oh. I remember at least a few things that he didn't know. Okay. Wait. 1956. Well, go ahead and tell me. Okay, if you're passing someone, or just changing lanes, if someone's in the lane behind you, like the lane you're merging into, how do you know you're far enough ahead of them to change lanes? You can see them in your side view mirror, and then you... I mean, my method is I always check the side view mirror and then I check right next to me. Wrong, sir. Wrong. It is safe to merge over in front of someone when you can see both of their headlights in your rear view mirror. Typically, I make more use of my rear view mirror than my side view. So I probably do that more often than I sound like. I mean, but to be fair, that is probably a little bit extra far ahead than is totally necessary, but... Well, we all know you like to play things fast and loose. I am very good at following phrases.
I remember from Driver's Ed, the rule of thumb was that you should have at least 3 cars worth of empty space between you and the next car.
Yeah, see, the rule of thumb I was taught is that there should be 3 seconds worth of travel time between you and the car in front of you.
I don't think I heard that one. I think it was 3 cars worth. Wow, I died.
You did die.
How about that? I don't really even look at my health in this game.
Just tell me neither of you are those assholes who, you know, when stopping at a light, leave
all the way here.
A number of spaces.
They're here too.
Oh, in front of you?
Yeah, oh yeah.
This might mean
You mean
to what we need.
You mean when you're the first person at the light, or between you and the next car?
Oh, between me and the next car.
Because I see some people like stop way before the line at a light sometimes.
Really? I don't think I've ever seen that.
Well, I mean, it's not like a common sight, but
I hate the ones that stop and they have like 3 car spaces in between, and then instead of just being stopped at the light, they constantly just inch ahead. So I mean, you either inch ahead yourself, or you look like that asshole who left all that space in between.